Ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndinzwe pandona mata baba, munditarire neziso rengoni nemutsa, mabvioneta katarakura, mweya wa baba ndiberekewo parwendo rwangu, ruoko rwedenga rurege kupfupiswa pandiri, pavachadawo mamazita emascientist rangu rigodo mwawo. Pavanganyora Guinness Book of Records rangu rigonyorwawo. Pavangapa Nobel Peace Prize ndigopiwawo. Tese ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba. For I have a big vision, I have a big dream. What I need is the energy to accomplish my vision. All I need is the power to pursue the big dream. All I need is the energy to accomplish my vision. Ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba, ndakumbira simba iwe, ndakumbira simba. Thank you. So I want to sing another common song, in case someone was lost when I was singing an original. It's called Shiner. Mepo inovuvuta, ndiwo mugariro wayo, denga rinokwidibira, roda kunisa mvura, mwedzi unotombonyura wani, siku kochinyatsosviba, asiona mabvazuva, chiedza chotouya, zuva parinobuda, richishaina, newe shainawo, zuva parinobuda iwe, richishaina, newe shainawo, kunyangwe kunerima, uri mwenje, usazodzimawo, zuva parinobuda iwe, richishaina, newe shainawo, kunyangwe kunerima, uri mwenje, usazodzimawo, zuva parinobuda iwe, richishaina, newe shainawo.
Welcome to the Africa Science Buskers Festival 2025. This year we're featuring 350 students with various science exhibitions that they've come up with, and this is a time where we are celebrating the various young minds that have come up with various innovations that are creative and able to change our environment as we know it today.
Thank you. So In this life, you should always make sure you remain confident about yourself. You should believe in your dreams and believe in what you want to become. Is it? Is that right? Yes, you should not let people define you. You should define yourself and pursue your vision. That's always my goal, to inspire and to motivate people in whatever they are doing. Is that right? Right. So my next song is going to be a common song so that I have more people singing with me. Yeshu Yeshua, Yeshua, my beloved is the most beautiful amongst thousands and thousands. My beloved is the most beautiful amongst thousands and thousands. Yeshua, 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 Thank you, choir. It has been a pleasure singing to you. Thank you. Thank you.
A good round of applause for our beautiful artist. No. Surely you can do better than that. Another round of applause for him as he takes his seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a beautiful pleasure to welcome you to this year's edition of the Africa Science Buskers Festival. A round of applause. I mean, it's always a beautiful thing to kick off a competition with a gospel song. I mean, God will walk with you in your judging and all of those things, right? How many are excited to be here today? I want you to turn to your neighbor with a beautiful smile and say, good morning. I don't care if it's your rival. I mean, he or she might be a rival. He might even have a better project than you, or the worst project. You might as well greet them and say, oh well, best of luck. So I'm going to give just 3 individuals an opportunity to tell us the beautiful thing about how many participated in last year's Africa Science Buskers Festival. Last year's edition, how many were here? So we have a room full of newbies. Really? So how many were here? Hands up, hands up, hands up. Right. So you're up first. You're going to explain to the room just one beautiful thing about the Africa Science Buskers Festival. Explain to our newbies why we love coming here year in, year out, and what they should expect from our judges. But this year, we have an interesting turn of events. Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I think, the Africa Science Buskers is a really fun, interactive event, and I love the way you get to connect with people and learn about their projects. And I feel like it's, for me, from my experience, is a more relaxed version than the Zim Science Fair. I think it's more fun, it's more engaging, and I love the fact that you get to, communicate science, instead of really rigidly explaining a project. It's about being able to explain your project as if you're explaining to a grade one, and, yeah, that's what I like.
I'm not sure if grade ones would be happy about that last line, but it's okay. Who else was here and is excited to explain? We have a favorite here. Just a short one. All right, just your name. And then we'll let you go. Stand up. So explain to us what you're expecting this year. I mean, we have a room full of newbies, so you can just lie to them and get away with it.
I'm expecting to win a prize.
Simple and straightforward. I'm expecting to win a prize. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So, at the Africa Science Buskers Festival, we are all about communicating science. I love the fact that our first respondent was able to say it's more engaging, it's more interactive, and it's not as nerve-wracking as the Zimbabwe Science Fair. I got a yes true from thee. So, best of luck to everyone who's here. I'm sure your projects are all amazing. But to kickstart our program for the day, we're going to have welcome remarks from Paula Golden, who is the president of the Broadcom Foundation. Take a look.
It's a pleasure to be with you again this year at the African Science Buskers Festival. And I bet you think that knowledge is in the room with you, but actually he's here with me at the Regeneron International Science. It's a pleasure to be with you again this year at the African Science Buskers Festival. And I bet you think that knowledge is in the room with you, but actually he's here with me at the Regeneron International Science. It's a pleasure to be with you again this year at the African Science Buskers Festival. And I bet you think that knowledge is in the room with you, but actually he's here with me at the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Festival, where students from Zimbabwe are representing your country in a very exciting ICEF project here in Columbus, Ohio. As you begin your opening ceremonies, we want to welcome you all, tell you how terrific it is that you are here. Just by putting your project in this competition, you are all winners. And it's very important to us that you understand that your project is just the beginning of your exciting career as scientists, engineers, and innovators. One of the stories we like to tell the students who are participating in the festival is the story of Henry Samueli. Henry was 13 years old, and he decided he wanted to build a little wireless radio. This was in the 1960s, so many, many, many years ago. And he sat on the floor of his living room and built himself a little radio. And when the sound came out, he said, "I never looked back." When you find your passion, which all of you have done with the projects that you are bringing to the festival, that passion is the seed. What you want to do is take that project, win or lose, doesn't matter. Take that project and follow that project to the next project and the next project. So eventually, it sets you on the path you want to be on for your whole life and allows you to contribute to your countries by being part of the science-minded citizenry that is so important in this century. One of the people that we admire is Carl Sagan. He was a famous scientist who really gave everyone a popular view of space. This was before we had satellites and the famous telescopes that are showing us the universe. Carl Sagan said, everyone should have knowledge. Everyone should have knowledge, and they should also have the ability to apply that knowledge. It's not good enough to know. You need to then act on that knowledge and move it forward with inquiry, critical thinking, asking questions, and always challenging your hypothesis and asking yourself, is there a better way? Is there a right way? Is there a bigger way to take on the ideas that you have to move your project, your life, your career forward? So never stop dreaming. Never, ever stop asking questions. And while you're at the African Science Buskers Festival, don't forget to meet as many of your peers as you can. People who are at this fair, the young people who are with you, are your future partners in college, in school, in careers, in academics, wherever you choose to go in your life. You're going to take those wonderful people you meet at the festival with you as your new friends, confidants, and people who you can count on to help you ask better questions in life. So good luck. Have a wonderful festival. Knowledge, I guess I have to send you back into the room again now. All right, I'm going to jet him back into the room magically, and he's going to take you forward with the opening ceremonies. Henry, it's a pleasure to see you.
Good to be here, Paula.
When we start, I'd like to first have you tell a little bit of a story, if you would, about growing up and helping stock your father's little store, and probably at some point in time realize that that was not your future. There was another path ahead of you, and how you happened to get on that path.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. And my parents actually owned a liquor store in East Los Angeles, and I would go in on weekends and help my parents out, stock the shelves and run the cash register and help with the books, whatever they needed. So I guess that was my first exposure to entrepreneurialism at a little store. But when I was in the 7th grade, I was walking in at some electronics shop and saw a bunch of kits about building various electronics projects. And I got excited about one of them as a radio. So I went to my teacher at school. I was in an electric shop class. And I asked the teacher if I could take that radio kit and build it as a class project. And this was 7th grade in junior high school. And initially, teacher said, no, it's way too complicated for a 7th grader. You'll never finish it. You know, it'll never work. But I kept pushing him. Finally, he relented and said, okay, go ahead, do it. So I bought the radio kit and literally spent every day of the semester at my home in the living room, rolling on the living room carpet with the schematics all out there and the instructions, solder wire A to point B and so forth for the entire semester. And a project was done as 5 vacuum tubes in a radio about this big, brought it into class, plugged it in, and sound came out of it. And I was so amazed by that, I decided that that was going to be my career, to become an electrical engineer so I could figure out how that radio worked, because I obviously had no clue at the time in the 7th grade. So that's when I knew I was going to become an electrical engineer. Is a 7th grade hands-on science project, which is something we're promoting so much for today.
Well, and that led you ultimately to UCLA, where you were the first graduate of the engineering program to actually be brought onto the faculty, at least as legend has it. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about the path between the insight of that project, that gray mark 50 something or other.
506B.
There you go. The insight and getting yourself to college. I mean, what were the things you would tell young people that they need to think about when they have that aha moment at a young age? And maybe not with a lot of support at home. I suspect your parents were so busy working and
Oh, yeah,
everything else. You were just kind of...
No, that was entirely self-motivated. And often kids need to do that. They need to, on their own, pursue various things, try out projects, read a lot, and hopefully you find something that you get attracted to and want to pursue further, and then dive in and learn as much as you can.
Were there mentors along the way?
Well, my electric shop teacher was probably the one who pushed me the hardest. Once he saw that radio work, he was amazed himself. He said, "Henry, you better pursue that as a career because you're going to do something great as an engineer."
The trainer would get there and then tell you, sit with someone you didn't exactly like or someone you were not friends with. How many have had that exercise? Where you are told you are with her, but you don't know her, so you must sit with her. It used to irritate the life out of me. But would do it because they were the trainers and we were kids and who'd have to listen. Don't worry, I'm not saying we are supposed to do that today. I'm simply saying it is important for you guys to interact with one another as you communicate science, as you exchange ideas, because the moment you interact with someone you came on the bus with, you defeat the entire purpose of the Africa Science Buskers Festival. So when we come tomorrow for day 2, I'm giving you a challenge. It's not an instruction, but a challenge. Try to sit with someone you don't know. Try to have a conversation with them. Try to understand what their project is all about. And who knows, maybe you might come out with something interesting, right? It wouldn't hurt to try anyways. So we have participants this year from all around the world, from Namibia, from Botswana, from the United States of America to Zambia. So we're going to call upon some of those participants to come up to the stage and greet the room. And the first group to give us a special greeting is a group from Botswana. A round of applause for them as they come up. The Botswana team. As we wait for the team from Botswana, we also have a team from the United States. A round of applause for them.
Hello, hi guys. In Setswana we say dumelang. Yes, dumelang, and then you reply letsogile, which means how are you? Yes. So we as Team Botswana are delighted to be here, and it's a pleasure to see you all, guys. Zimbabwe is a beautiful country, very nice. And yeah, we as Team Botswana look forward to competing with you. And yeah, we came to win. Thank you.
He's very frank about it. We can't travel all the way from Botswana to come here and lose. We came to win. He said, we say, dumelang, and then you guys say? You say what? A round of applause for Team Botswana. Up next, we also have a team from the United States of America. A round of applause for them as they take to the stage.
On behalf of all the Americans who care deeply about their brothers and sisters around the world, we want to say thank you to Mr. Chokondi for inviting us here to be part of the Africa Science Buskers Festival. We've been to Great Zimbabwe. We've been to Guerrero to visit 2 schools, and Michelle Mamombe is one of your alums. Michelle Mamombe's program for 35 girls, introducing them to STEM. We've broken bread with Rotarians, and we will be in Nyanga this weekend to see the Science Exploration Center. The people of Zimbabwe, you have wonderful things ahead. So we've had these blessings because of Mr. Chikundi. I'd like you to meet Thomas Yu, my finalist from the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen of the fair, I am honored to be the finalist from the United States to present my project to this country. Just a little bit about over a year ago, I started my project with almost no knowledge in anything about computer science or biology. I would have never dreamed that I would come halfway across the world to be able to compete in the African Science Buskers Festival. And because of that, I would like to thank some people. I would like to thank Mr. Chikundi for giving me the opportunity to come here, and to Mrs. Wood, the Terra Science and Education, and the Syracuse Inner City Rotary Club for sponsoring this trip. And I also like to thank my parents for giving me the inspiration for completing this project. And I also like to thank my teachers for giving me the vital knowledge for all the programming that I have done. And so thank you all, and good luck to everyone competing in this competition, and I hope to see your projects soon. Thank you.
We're all together on a small planet revolving a lovely sun that's sitting in the Orion arm of the Milky Way. And if we come together to celebrate curiosity, to celebrate passion, to celebrate our dreams, if we work together regardless of continent, if we dream together, we move into a future that treasures our Mother Earth and honors each person for their uniqueness. I'd like to close with the words from Archbishop Tutu and from the Dalai Lama. May we all be free from suffering. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. May we all find peace and joy. Welcome to everyone, and thank you.
A round of applause. A round of applause for the United States of America team. So we've had from Botswana, and we had Dumelang. We've had from the United States of America. They're saying, let's celebrate curiosity, let's dream together. We're now going to hear from a team from Luxembourg. A round of applause for the team as they come up.
Hello, hi everyone. First of all, I want to thank the whole team, Knowledge, first and foremost, for this wonderful partnership. So just to explain, this partnership is about to create a bridge between Zimbabwe and Luxembourg. So we are able to bring our youngsters here, but also to welcome maybe 1, 2, or 3 of you to Luxembourg for the next Luxembourg International Science Expo taking place this coming October. And I also want to wish you all great of luck for the competition. So just keep in mind that first, it is about this opportunity to be all together, to acknowledge the fact that you are part of a big community of young scientists, and just look around you how vast is your community. And of course, we wanted to share a little bit of our small country. So I'll leave this part to my students.
So we both come from Luxembourg. So some of you might not know where it is. So it's between Germany, Belgium, and France. And there we have 3 national languages, which are French, German, and Luxembourgish. So.
Okay, I want you to learn some Luxembourgish words. So in Luxembourgish, hello is moyen. So I want you to repeat, please. Moyen. Nice. Thank you.
Good luck to you all.
Thank you so much. Morning. No. You were supposed to respond to the word that you were just taught. Morning. Dumelang. Up next, we have a team from Zambia. A round of applause for the team as they come up.
Hello, everybody. I'm from Zambia with my team, and I'm going to say a few words in our local language, which is called Nyanja or Bemba. Mulishani Wonse means, how are you, everybody? Everyone repeat, Mulishani Wonse. Chemushe means, is everyone well?
Hi everyone. So my colleagues here have just taught you a few words in our local, one of our many local languages, Nyanja. I am here to thank you, to thank the Africa Science Buskers for hosting us here as the Rhodes Park Schools group. We are very thankful for making our stay here comfortable, and we are very thankful for hosting us here. We are very excited to see the projects that are going to be presented here today, and we hope that we can come out and make some new friends and memories here. Thank you.
A round of applause for Team Zambia as they take their seats. How many people in this room actually remember the greeting that was just taught on stage? What did they say? You're from Zambia. You're trying to cheat the system. How many, let me clarify the question. How many people that are not from Zambia actually remember the greeting that we just taught? A show of hands? So you might as well teach us again.
Mulishani. Mulishani.
So I'm going to say it in English and you guys respond in Nyanja, is it? Good morning. There you go, a round of applause. Now continuing with the program, I think from all the speakers that have come on stage, there's been one common name. Either they've said knowledge, or either they've said Mr. Chukudi. A brief background about this man.
Hello everyone, once again, as we continue with the Africa Science Buskers Festival 2025, I have with me today Leona, who's going to give us highlights of yesterday. Welcome, Leona.
Hi, Anna.
Do tell us about yesterday's experience and the students that you had. I understand you had a tour.
Yes.
Tell us about the places that you visited.
Okay, so mostly we were in Harare CBD. So we're going around the CBD of Harare, mainly among the main streets, which are Samura Machel, where we pass through Reserve Bank and the Mbiananda statue, and also Nelson Mandela, where we pass through Anglican Church, and also Jason Moore, where we pass through Joiner City, and also the Robert Mugabe, where we pass Queen Elizabeth Hotel and Eastgate Market.
Oh, that's
Yes.
lovely. And how was the experience for the students? What remarks did they have about the various places they saw?
Okay, it was I think it was exciting for them. We also visited Barre residential area, and also passed through the flyover and passed through the Rufaro Stadium. So for them, and also passed through Stanley Levy. So for them, it was sort of like exciting, since they got to see both sides of Zimbabwe, that it's not only about the struggles, but we also have the affluent type kind of lifestyle here in Zimbabwe. So it was exciting.
Absolutely. And which countries did you have represented yesterday?
Okay, so we had yesterday we got Zambia and Luxembourg. The others couldn't make it because of various reasons.
All right. Thank you, Leona, for joining us. Goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in as the day proceeds. Continue. Wonderful. Thank you.
I think that's been working on.
It's okay.
You did a great job. A young
I was nervous.
man from the US, so we connected, and then he said, "Well, I have an idea about improving the Science Buskers Festival and helping more students to get the resources to participate." So we've been working on something. It's really cool. So can we have it?
Hello everyone, I'm so excited and honored to be speaking to you all. First of all, thanks to Knowledge for organizing this event. This is an amazing opportunity for students to be able to get together and share the many science projects and demos they have. It's not so much about winning or losing at these events, but about being able to meet like-minded people with similar interests and being able to share ideas with them. I'm so happy that you all have this opportunity, so I'd recommend to use it to the maximum. My journey on working on science projects is very similar to what many of you may have faced. I went to a public elementary school which didn't have a dedicated science teacher or focused too many resources for helping students to work on science projects. When I was in 3rd grade, I found out about local science fairs and I wanted to participate. But the problem was I didn't know whom to ask for guidance. My dad helped me a bit, but I started on a very ambitious project for a 3rd grader, which was building a talking clock. Anyway, I've somehow read about it online and asked my dad to buy me the things and tried to put the clock together myself. It took me a long time, but I did succeed, which was really cool to me at that time. Of course, it didn't look really good, but when I entered the local science fair, I didn't do well because I hadn't been told about the format of the science fair and that I had to follow, and my presentation didn't have the things that the judges were looking for. My dad helped me a bit, but I started on a very ambitious project for a 3rd grader, which was building a talking clock. Anyway. I did succeed, which was really cool to me at that time. Of course, it didn't look really good, but when I entered the local science fair, I didn't do well because I hadn't been told about the format of the science fair and that I had to follow, and my presentation didn't have the things that the judges were looking for. I didn't give up and kept trying every year, but the results were pretty much the same. The years when I had a teacher who was interested in science was a bit better as I got more guidance. Then in my freshman year, I became part of the local student group in which high school students who had experience in science fairs helped elementary school students. However, the problem was that we could only help those students who were in schools who agreed to have us come over and help them. All these thoughts were paramount in my mind. That students needed help, that when their science projects did well, they felt motivated to continue, but if they didn't do well, then their interest in science diminished, which caused them to pick other topics, which were not only resulted in the world losing motivated scientists who could make breakthroughs, but also resulted in lost opportunities for the students themselves in terms of the careers that they would love. I got thinking about how best I could help other students so that they don't have to struggle like me, and I built the Science Fair Assistant app. When I met Knowledge and saw the many initiatives he was organizing to help students work on science fair projects, I was very happy that I could work with him to help those who love science. Here's the AI mentor that I've developed, Just for the Buskers, which can help you work on all your science projects. Here you can develop a science project from the idea stage to the presentation stage, asking the AI mentor for guidance at every step. This is the page you're going to see once you've either logged in or created an account with the mentor. Here you will have the option to view past projects, continue projects, or start new projects. The mentor also lets you know what stage you are on when you start a new project. Once you start a project, the mentor will start you with the idea mentor. Here you will brainstorm ideas with the idea mentor until you found an idea that you would like to pursue. You can ask about any idea that you're interested in, and you can start as broad as you'd like. For example, here the mentor is just being asked about ideas that relate to physics, and then it is giving back different project ideas. After further querying the mentor, you can arrive at a specific topic that you would like to explore in your science project. For example, here we started from the general idea of physics, the topic of solar panels. Now you will have the mentor tell the mentors what topic you selected so that you can move on to the next stage of your project. After telling your mentor your topic or idea, you will be led to the demo mentor. Here, based on the idea that I decided upon, solar panels, the demo mentor narrows this down into into a specific question or hypothesis that I would focus on for my project. If you have any issues with the topic that it has selected or would like to change some parts of the topic to make it easier to do the project, just query the demo mentor and it will provide you with a different question and hypothesis that best matches your needs. After you've selected a question and hypothesis to investigate in your science project, the demo mentor will then provide you with a list of materials that you can use. Again, you can change the materials to best suit your needs. Finally, it gives you a procedure for the topic and hypothesis that you have selected. If you would like to change some aspects of the procedure, let the safety mentor know, and it will alter the procedure so that it better matches what the resources that you have available. Here, for example, on the topic of solar energy, the demo mentor provided me with the hypothesis and the different materials that I needed to work on the science fair project, and the procedure that I needed to follow to collect data. Once you settle on a question and hypothesis and procedure, move on to the next step of your project journey. Do not start working on the procedure until you've completed this next step. Okay, this next step is the safety mentor, which is built to give all the potential risks that may be involved in the procedure that was selected. Be sure to go over all these potential risks and request the safety mentor to alter some parts of the project if the risks involved seem too high. Remember, always work on your project in accordance with the rules and regulations that are set by your school or lab. Put in your safety notes or major safety risks to move on to the next step. Between the last step and this step, conduct your experiment and gather some preliminary data using the procedure and materials suggested by the demo and safety mentors. The pitch mentor is there to help you best represent and communicate these results, both visually on your board or through any visual presentation, or verbally through an oral presentation. This also helps you overall when making your presentation, aligning with the expectations that judges may have when evaluating your presentation. This makes your idea, hypothesis, and findings clear in your presentation. Work with the mentor and query it further so you can settle on a presentation that you feel highlights your project the best, and then move on to the final stage of your science project journey. This is going to be the judge mentor. The judge mentor, the final step in your science project journey is with the judge mentor. A big part of assessing science projects is the response to different questions from judges. The judge mentor looks at all aspects of your project, from the project idea to hypotheses to your final presentation, and asks you different questions that are similar to what a judge would ask if you ask. If you don't know the answers, no worries. The assistant also provides answers to all the questions it asks, so you are as prepared as you can be during judging day. You can also change the difficulty of the questions by just letting the mentor know. All of this started because of a small project, a talking clock that wasn't perfect, but it got me interested in building. It didn't win, but it got me started. So if you feel like your project isn't perfect or you're not sure if it's good enough, just keep going. Remember, the best science projects don't start out perfect. They start out interesting. This app is for you to use, explore, and ask questions. The only real rule is to stay curious. Thanks for listening, and I hope you find the app helpful. The link's on the screen. Try it out and let me know what you think. And good luck with your projects. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thank you.
Hybrid, we have online and person participants. So the total number of countries participating is 21. And I would like to greet also those watching us online, because we are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So it's been a year since we last met here at the Celebration Center. And you all remember, those who were here, my friend pitched about the Science Exploration Center that we were working on in Zimbabwe, the first Science Exploration Center. And I know many people, especially in Zimbabwe, they don't know what a Science Exploration Center is, because we don't have, or we didn't have one. And so can you go next? So after that presentation, because the one we were trying to build, it needed a lot of money, as you heard from my friend. And so something happened in November last year. We got another place in Nyanga. And as you can see, that's Nenyasha, the one who gave, the engineer and designer who gave the presentation last year. So we were doing the measurements, and the place is really beautiful. You know, with the Eastern Highlands part of Zimbabwe, it's really the nature and the scenery, it's amazing. So we started to work on this piece of land to set up a science exploration center that blends science and nature. And so can you go to the next slide? So after, so that's now me working on the place, because we just started without any funds. You are working on your projects, and sometimes you find your project needs some resources, needs some expensive equipment or lab, access to an expensive lab to do your project. But we've always said, you don't need an expensive lab to do extraordinary science. Use the resources you have to do extraordinary things. So we just started, and so that's me there. So every Friday, I would drive to Nyanga. From January this year, every Friday, I drive to Nyanga to work on the piece of land. And go to the next slide. And so we wanted to use the resources we have, especially in Nyanga. You know, that's where all the timber comes from. So we wanted to build structures using timber. So that's us. So we started with a deck. You will see the design of our science center. It's unique, and I always say it's the first scenic science exploration center in the world. So that's us with the decks for where we want to put the science exhibits. Because you know, in a science exploration center, you'll be having science exhibits, because the idea is for anyone who visits that center to learn science. Anyone. You go to that exhibit, it has everything you need. Say it's focusing on Newton's third law of motion. So that exhibit on its own, you don't need any explainer. By the time you leave that exhibit, you should know Newton's third law of motion. So when we wanted to put our exhibits, we started with this. And by that time, I thought, well, we'll just have this structure, small structure, and that's it. So go to the next slide. And today, the center is, I can say it's big. So we have come a long way from January. And so you see our motto is, science is for everyone. So we've managed to build 2 container structures where we are going to have exhibits. And already we have the exhibits, 20 exhibits already. And it's going to open next month. So if you end up in the Eastern, in Nyanga, make sure you visit our science center, and it's called Cinicon in Juliusdale. And so we have a container structure with 2 container structures where we are having exhibits, and also a STEM learning center. Go to the next slide. Yeah, so these are the 2 container structures, really beautiful. And so the base here, what you see, will be, oh, thank you. Yeah, so we managed to put this. The work started in January this year, so we've been working very hard. And so these are the two container structures. Very beautiful if you see them in person in Nyanga. So the idea, you see at the top, we'll be having exhibits, and then at the base, these are going to be labs, right? So because you see, we want to give you resources. I remember a the director of the Science Center in Singapore saying, students in Singapore, when they come up with a science fair or science buskers idea, they will just present the research plan to the Science Center, and the Science Center makes sure they get all the materials they need. So we are trying to create that at Cinicon. So maybe you want to spend a week there in Nyanga, staying at Cinicon. Again, we are also putting up some really nice structures for people who just want to camp at Cinicon. So you can spend a week building your project. By the time you go back to Bulawayo, or you come back to Harare, or go back to Zambia, your project would be done. So these are the two container structures. Next slide. Okay, yeah, so this is the 3D of our, so you see the two container structures, and that's a rocket. We have it. So the idea with this, so we do have a space exploration square at Cinicon, where we have all exhibits to do with space exploration. But we did something innovative. So I think by next month, you see that spaceship, we are going to have sort of planets that will be orbiting that, and we will name them Science Buskers Festival, Zimbabwe Science Fair, and many other tech buskers, many other activities that we do. And then down there, you see that pergola. That's our STEM Education Center. So if a school, they want to come and spend a day with us, interacting with our professionals and our exhibits, or any hands-on activities, that's where we'll be doing it. And on the base of that, we also have labs, really beautiful labs. And it's all done. We have built everything. So we are just now doing the touch-ups to make sure by the time we open, around end of August, everything will be perfect. Once you come to Cinicon, you won't want to leave. And anyone who visits Cinicon will appreciate science. Remember, our motto is science is for everyone. And besides the science exhibits, the STEM Learning Center, we also created a trail, and we are calling it a trail of fame, where we celebrate, we acknowledge young people who have passed through the Zimbabwe Science Fair and Africa Science Buskers Festival, who are doing very well. So we will display their achievements so that as people walk up to the exhibits, they will see those stories and get the inspiration. Because right now, many people here don't know about Pelagia, the first African female to have a minor planet named after her. She was here at the first Science Buskers Festival, and from there, she went on to do amazing things. So we want those stories, so young people coming up to know of those stories, and that trail of fame will be doing that. And we also, some people want to just have fun. We also have a next slide. We have a zip line in the skywalk. So in the 3D, the skywalk did not come out nice, but we have a very nice skywalk and the zip line. So we wanted to open the zip line this month, but because we are scientists, we are engineers, we want to make sure everything is perfect. So the engineers working on it, they are now doing their final anchoring, and so you also be able to do zip lining at Cinicon. So that's something we've been working on, and I'm excited about it, that when we didn't have a science center in Zimbabwe last year, we didn't have a science center in Zimbabwe 6 months ago, but from next month, any child who wants to visit a science exploration center in Zimbabwe will be able to come to Sinicon, and we'll also be offering some camping facilities for schools that want to, teachers, maybe you want to take your class for a week or 2 days, 3 days at Sinicon. There will be camping facilities as well. And you can all check our website, is already up. It's just Google Sinicon. We had to create this word. 6 months or 10 months ago, the word Sinicon did not exist in the world. So it's a combination of the scenery in Nyanga, and the corn part is for discovery, questioning, and things like that. So that's what we've been working. And next year, we might not have the Science Buskers in Harare, so maybe we'll all be in Nyanga doing it at Sinicon, enjoying the nature and the wonderful things at Sinicon. So, and the work continues. We want to empower young people here with the resources and opportunities to change the world using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I would like to congratulate all the finalists here. Just being a finalist is a big achievement. So I think all the finalists stand up so that we acknowledge you, all the finalists of the Africa Science Buskers Festival 2025. Yes. So let's clap hands for all the finalists. I know we have a former participant who is here and he's going to talk, and I know you are going to be inspired. So we know this is from here. Please go on and change the world. Push yourselves and achieve great things. So you can sit. I would also want to acknowledge the teachers, mentors, and parents who help these young people, because it's not easy. I was a teacher for 10 years. I only retired last year. And you know, as a teacher, when I was a teacher, having my students being finalists at the Africa Science Buskers Festival or Zim Science Fair or ICEF or any other big science competition, for me, it really fulfilled. It was so fulfilling. So, and as a teacher, supporting your young people, your students in science, and seeing them excelling at platforms like these, it's great. So thank you all teachers and parents for supporting these young people. And in conclusion, I want to thank the Broadcom Foundation for supporting this work. At one point, we wanted to, well, we are not going to quit the Africa Science Buskers Festival. We will never do that. It will continue. But in 2020, it was very hard. We didn't have any sponsor. We started in 2017 with a sponsor. Then in 2020, they said, oh, our focus is no longer science, so we can't continue supporting you. And it was very hard. Then the Broadcom Foundation said, well, we'll take over. And they've been supporting us since 2020. So I think we need to, I know they are watching us online, so we just want to acknowledge by clapping hands the Broadcom Foundation. And also, I told you we're building the Science Center we're bootstrapping. We did not get any funding, right? And I think we need to celebrate my wife and the kid, because money meant for diapers would end up buying timber. So, right, so And then last month, we got a family. They said, well, in honor of their cousin, who was a wonderful person, so they said, all the energy needs at Sinicon, we will sponsor. So, oh, I'm sorry about that. So I tend to get emotional when I talk about this work, how my family sacrifices. Okay, thank you, everyone.
A round of applause for Mr. Chikundi. A very inspiring story. I couldn't do justice by preempting what he was saying. I can't add anything more to what he has said. But what I can ask you is to support his work, continue participating, continue dreaming, and continue celebrating curiosity. But the most important thing I picked up from what he was saying, he was a teacher for 10 years and he retired. So for me, the most important thing, if you follow science, you retire early. Fair enough? Up next, we're going to hear from Keith Tamwa, who was a participant in this festival. He's just going to speak to us about his own journey, what you can learn, and just be inspired. A round of applause for Keith as he comes up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very honored to be standing here in front of you. And I would like to thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Today I would like to share 2 stories with you. And the common theme that is going to be threaded in these stories is the keyword resourcefulness. So, to me, this word refers to the ability to do the best you can with what you have to solve problems that you're passionate about. So if you end up getting nothing from this talk, I would like you to go home with this question in mind. Am I doing the best I can with what I have to solve problems that I'm passionate about? 2023 was a very pivotal moment in my life. It was the first time that I was introduced to the world of science fairs, which I didn't even know existed in Zimbabwe before attending USAP Community School. I remember vividly my first time at Science Buskers, and I was really anxious, a bit naive, hoping that I could change the whole agricultural landscape overnight. Me and my partner, Takunda, didn't even sleep the night before, trying to get our solution up and running. Now, looking back in hindsight, what I learned was that the most important thing out of all this is not the awards, although that would be nice. What's important is developing true passion for whatever area you decide to pursue. You don't believe me? Well, where is that project that I spent hours working on? Probably stuck on the old computer that I used to use. Or the medal that I won, probably stuck on my top shelf. I probably won't get to impact all those farmers that I hope I would with my solution. Because if I did, you'd have already seen me on national television. But I was able to get a step closer in discovering what I really like. That project and many other things that I decided to invest my energy in helped me to get to where I am today. Please, don't beat yourself up. Try your best to enjoy this. Don't just come up with problems and solutions for the sake of awards, but rather actually sit down and say, what problems can I pursue that I am interested in? Maybe a solution would take a lucky shot, many solutions have, and actually catch the eyes of potential investors. But if not, that's fine. Don't be too hard on yourself. You probably won't find the cure of cancer here, but judging by how brilliant all of you are, I'm sure that might happen. But what I can guarantee you is that you will definitely discover your passion for where you should be investing your energy in. My second story is more so a story of experimentation. Life is a bit funny because there's always a catch. Just because you try your best, that's no guarantee that you will be the best. But that fact should not deter you from trying to achieve dreams that you're passionate about. That same year, I decided to be a little daring and start my own YouTube channel. Why, you might ask? Well, I really like physics, and I felt as though there were many areas that I could improve. I could see big educational channels, the likes of Veritasia, Organic Chemistry Tutor, making amazing content, but not really serving students with the content that they actually needed. And the little channels that were actually Cambridge and ZIMSEC specific were not really making high production videos with animations or resources that I felt could really help students. So I decided to challenge the narrative, particularly for A-level students and for people at my school. Now I tried my best. I didn't have much except my phone and ideas in my head. But let me tell you, those were the worst videos that I could have ever made. I couldn't articulate my ideas very well. I paused many times, made millions and millions of errors. But I still was very passionate about putting my ideas out there. Now, I have a microphone, drawing tools, recording gear. My articulation has improved a little bit. I've been able to assist thousands of students through my videos, and now I'm in the process of condensing my ideas into a book that I believe will be able to challenge traditional ways of presenting information. Am I the best physics YouTuber in the world? No, not by a large feat, but maybe one day I will be. But whenever I turn the camera on, I still give my best self, knowing that I can be able to help a few students that tune in every single time. And that fact is more than enough for me. So you might not be the one to cure cancer. Sorry, I keep on referring to cancer. Or be the best artificial intelligence programmer out there. But if you were to look in your life, you will find those little things that you do and that only you do to make the world a better place. Please hold on to that. I think in this day and age, we're exposed on social media to the likes of Sam Altman and the Elon Musk of the world, that we use them as a barometer to judge our own impact in the world. But is that really a way to live? I think all of us have a unique contribution that we make to the world in our own unique way. Now, as you go into the world, as you present today, as you go write your next exam, make your next science fair project, I want you to be asking yourself this question: am I doing the best I can with what I have to solve problems that I'm deeply, 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 deeply passionate about? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keith. A round of applause for Keith as he takes his seat. When we begin, I told you that we are all about explaining science. We are all about engagement. We are all about interactions and exchanges. And that's what we've been trying to give you here today. But the most important part of this entire festival is not in this room, but upstairs, where your projects are, where the judges are going to be, and where you're going to interact with one another, exchanging ideas on how best you can solve the challenges that you wish to solve. So the last item on our program, before we go there, we're going to hear from Dr. Laura Lewis, who is the director of the Ellison Institute of Technology. A round of applause for Dr. Lewis as she comes up.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Laura Lewis. I come. Oh, yeah, okay, great. Right. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Laura Lewis. I come from Oxford in the UK, and I'm really, really pleased to be here and to chat to you. I wanted to also start by thanking Knowledge and the Science Buskers Festival for the invitation to come here. So I might get Keith back up at some point to talk about the scholarship program, because he is in our first ever cohort of undergraduate scholars. But for now, I'll chat about the scholarship program. And before I do, next slide please, I just wanted to echo what's already been said. Huge well done for getting this far. You've already massively impressed your teachers and those around you, and that's why you're here. And so, yes, is it working? Brilliant. Okay, great. So, yes, I've spoken to a small number of you already about your projects, and I have my interested face. So when those people start to, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. And then as I actually hear the projects that I've heard so far, I'm like, okay, all right, this is good. This is really good. So I'm already blown away by the projects that I've heard about. And then just to prepare you, we are going to be walking around and hearing about what you've done. And my final killer question will be, does it work? So I've had both answers so far, like, no, but it could, and yes, it works. Great. So anyway, huge congratulations from us. We have a lot of common ground in that we at the Ellison Institute of Technology are deeply passionate about the power of science and technology to solve big global problems. Next slide, please. Also, I did get a slight promotion in my introduction. I'm not the director of the Ellison Institute of Technology. I'm the director of the Ellison Scholars Program. So the director is my boss's boss. All right. So our mission at the Ellison Institute of Technology, EIT, is to develop and deploy technology in pursuit of solving humanity's most challenging and enduring problems. We've decided that we're focusing on 4 areas. We can't do everything, so we want to do what we do well and to have impact. So those 4 areas are health and medical science, food security and sustainable agriculture, clean energy and the environment, and artificial intelligence and robotics. So I think I've probably covered quite a few of your projects in those 4 areas, which is exciting. Next slide, please. The founding team of the scholarship program, if it was of the Ellison Institute of Technology, I would be giving myself a promotion with this slide, but the scholarship program was founded by, it's actually also funded by Mr. Larry Ellison, who is the CTO of Oracle and is in the US. And Professor Sir John Bell, who's the president, he is my boss's boss, of the Ellison Institute of Technology, and he was the Regius Professor of Medicine for, I think, around 20 years at the University of Oxford. He also led the UK's COVID response, so he's probably responsible for saving lots of lives, along with others who led that response. Tony Blair, so you might be a bit too young to know about Tony Blair, but he is a former president or prime minister of the United Kingdom. And then I'm there as well. So I've helped develop this scholarship program from the start. Great, next slide, please. The Ellison Scholars Program is a fully global scholarship, so it doesn't matter what nationality or where you're from, you are eligible to apply. And it's different in that it's not a classic academic scholarship, so we are fully funding undergraduate study at the University of Oxford, and that it includes 3-year bachelor's degrees, the 4-year integrated bachelor's and master's degrees, and then also we fully fund a 6-year undergraduate medicine degree as well. We do have a UK student in our first cohort, but it is fully international. So that's the academic part. The innovation part is also what helps to set our scholarship program apart, and I think a lot of your projects are pretty innovative as well. So it's going to take innovation to help us solve a lot of our big problems that we share on the globe. And so Ellison Scholars, for the undergraduate scholarship, and by the way, we fund PhDs as well, for the undergraduate scholarship, Ellison Scholars are going to study at Oxford, and then over the long vacation, over the UK summer, they will spend 10 weeks with the Ellison Institute of Technology working with us on these big projects that matter. So that's where innovation comes into the scholarship program. And all of the project consumables, etc., are fully funded. Next slide, please. All right, so the scholarship benefits are interdisciplinary collaboration. Scholars are going to work alongside our already interdisciplinary teams. My team will provide a lot of scholar support. Ellison Scholars have access to state-of-the-art facilities, and lots of the photos on the slides are renderings from our architects of what the building that we are building will look like. So I'm not sure whether you were expecting to hear about 2 building projects today, but this is the second. And then programming as well. Ellison Scholars, we want them to be great leaders and also innovators. So we're going to be making sure they carry on upskilling as they go through university as well. Next slide. So, the scholars are going to work on cutting-edge EIT projects that are in one of those, or more than one of those 4 areas of interest we spoke about, and they're going to work alongside world-leading experts, industry experts, engineers, etc. Next slide. The state-of-the-art facilities I've mentioned. So it's under construction, it's 30,000 square meters, and it will have state-of-the-art research spaces, a library, auditorium, etc. It's being designed by a world-famous architect, so it's going to be very functional and very beautiful. And it's going to be ready in 2027. So I've prepared Keith that for his first internship, we won't actually be in that building, but by his second, we hopefully will be. Great. Scholar support. So my team is responsible for pastoral and well-being. Coming to Oxford is challenging, and also we want to make sure that everyone is turning up as their best self, feels good, is good, etc. Financial provision. So like I said, it is fully funded from getting you to Oxford to getting you home again. Academic and project support, make sure that you know what you're doing when you do your projects at EIT, etc. All right, and then the programming I've explained. So we want to make sure that we equip scholars with a strong foundation of skills, character, connections, empowering them to bring about global change. And something that we say on our website as well is that Ellison scholars, once they graduate, they will continue to have access to our resources so that they can carry on what they've started. Great. So this is our first cohort. So there's I guess it's pretty small, but Keith is on here. Where are you? Keith is towards the top right. So we have 17 undergraduates coming to Oxford at the end of September. We are really excited. My team cannot wait. So here they are, and they are from Zimbabwe, obviously, from the UK, from Armenia, from Romania, from Egypt, from Canada, from the US, from Singapore, from India. I think that's everyone in our first cohort. So we're very excited. We also fund PhDs at the University of Oxford, and we have a smaller number of 5 coming in this year. And so they are joining us from, they did their undergraduates at Stanford, ETH Zurich, the University of Oxford, Brown, and then also the University of Cambridge, which we have a bit of rivalry with. Great. All right, so just to say, our undergraduate applications are open now, and that is to start in October next year, October of 2026. So our deadline is the end of this month. That's actually quite a tight turnaround if you're just hearing about this program and you're interested. If you are just hearing about the program and you're interested, come and speak to us. We have a booth back there, and we'll extend the deadline for you. Thanks. Okay, so the timeline is apply to us first. We'll be selecting semi-finalists and inviting them to apply to the University of Oxford. Note of worth is that it is Oxford University's normal admissions process, so we are not getting anyone in through any back doors, and we don't want to anyway because we think that the people we're finding are very smart. So then we invite people to apply to Oxford. We wait and see who gets invited to interview and who gets an offer from the University of Oxford. Anyone who's in our process who gets an offer from Oxford becomes a finalist for the Ellison Scholars Programme. We then interview the finalists and do group activities because we care about collaboration, and make our final selection decisions, and we will let candidates know at the beginning of next year. So actually, candidates for the Ellison Scholars Programme find out before they hear back from probably many of their other applications. Great. And in terms of eligibility, the only eligibility requirement is that you can get into the University of Oxford, and that's obviously managed and led by the University of Oxford, so just check their website, make sure that you're studying for a qualification that they accept, that you're getting the grades that they would accept, and if English is not the primary language for your country, you might have to prove that you have a certain standard in English. As long as you meet that, then you meet our eligibility criteria. In terms of selection criteria, alignment to EIT's vision is really, really important, and we're here for a reason because many of you are already doing things that we care about, and so actually there's a good chance that there's alignment just because we're all in this room. Plus excellence, so academic excellence, excellence in everything that you do, especially when it comes to science and technology, innovation, collaboration, tenacity, and integrity. They are things that we really care about. Right? Before you apply, am I doing okay for time? Yeah, okay. As you're applying, it's worth really having a look at the University of Oxford's website, see which course you would do. You'll probably know that degrees in Europe, you usually focus on one subject, so you'll be specializing. And I know that a lot of people prefer to have the breadth of maybe like a US liberal arts education. So do read the university's website, check out and make sure that there's something there that you actually would want to do, and that you would find the course interesting. You can usually find the curriculum online. So if everything lines up, you're really excited about who we are, what we're up to, you're excited about Oxford, and you fit the criteria, then I think we could be a really good fit. Great. And then just to say, because some of you already know where you're going for uni and some of you have got plans to go elsewhere, we do fund PhDs, and actually we're going to have quite a few PhD scholarships available, and it's going to keep growing. So these are just a few examples. So we do have a graduate Ellison Scholars Program. We're also funding additional research students to come and work at EIT. And then last year we announced that we are funding a new PhD program with the University of Oxford in the fundamentals of AI. So that is another way to be funded by EIT. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything from me. Just to say, come to our webinars. Actually, I've kind of given you the introductory webinar, so you don't need to come to that. So that was it. But we do applicant guidance sessions. So if you want to start an application, then sign up for a session, and you will literally be talking to my team. So they will be answering your questions live. We will do some project Q&As, but probably after the deadline, so that you can meet the people leading each of those 4 areas and projects within them. And then there are sometimes opportunities to have one-to-ones with the scholars team. Just to say, the more contact points you have with my team, the better your application is. We've been following the data and it tracks. So make sure you listen from us so that you know, when we're asking a certain question, you definitely understand what we mean by it, etc. Great. I think that's everything. This is my team. So some of them are regional talent scouts, and some of them work with me in Oxford. So there they are. I think next slide. The other thing I was going to say is, so at the stall back there, we have various merchandise that's branded, and a wheel that you can spin to figure out what you have won. So please do come and visit us. We'll be coming in to see your projects as well. We're super excited about that. And then Keith, did you want to come and say a few things about the scholarship program?
Okay, I just wanted to say I will specifically be focusing on the food security and sustainable agricultural part, and I'm very excited to be working with the team. And most of the information that I gave when I was submitting my application actually revolved around Science Buskers and Zim Science Fair to show my interest for working on this particular category. So just to encourage you, if you're thinking of applying, no problem is too big or no problem is too small for you to include. Really speak from a point of passion, which is why even I was emphasizing that it's not really about the awards. The things that you're doing right now will help you better position yourself in a place to be competitive, to apply for the different things that you'll be focusing on. So just to say, and even if you have also other questions as well, and if you're keen to apply, you can also be able to, I guess, connect with me on LinkedIn if that's something that you find quite interesting to pursue. Thank you.
Okay, I'm really happy to take that. That's everything from me. I'm really happy to take any questions if anyone wants to ask any now. Otherwise, you're very welcome to come and visit us at the stall and ask your questions there. All right, good luck everyone. Well done.
Thank you, Doc. A round of applause for Dr. Lewis as she takes a seat. Now we've come to the most important part of this entire program. So this year, Knowledge and his team decided to introduce a new concept called peer judging. Peer judging. So each one of you is going to go up, and then there's going to be a scoring sheet for the finalists. You are supposed to judge 3 finalists of your choice. Correct? I'll take that again. So when we go up for judging, the first 30 minutes are for peer judging. So you're going to get a score sheet. On this score sheet, you're supposed to judge 3 participants of your choice. Make sure that they're not from your school, number 1. I can't believe we have a room full of corrupt finalists. You were so disappointed. All you're going to do is make sure that the 3 finalists that you're going to judge are not from your school. Correct? So we're going to go up, you're going to go get a score sheet, and then you're going to judge 3 finalists that are not from your school. Any questions on that? Avoid corruption and favoritism. After those 30 minutes, the judges are then going to come up, and then they're going to speak to you, and then they're going to judge you, and then we get the results tomorrow. So, all the best to everyone. Please make sure you smile and explain your project best you can. At this moment, we're going to all dismiss, and then we're going to go up for the first 30 minutes for peer judging. All right? So we're going to start from the back as we exit the room. All the best to everyone. See you tomorrow.
For just $37, you can generate as many videos as you want and never have to worry about showing your face on camera